What is going on, guys? Reflex here, and with this being the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, as well as the 3-year anniversary of Kingdom Hearts 3 that actually happened, I think around like a few days ago at this point, whenever this video goes up, but it kind of boggles my mind that it's actually been 3 years since Kingdom Hearts 3, which Kingdom Hearts 3 was probably one of the most hype and had the most hype around game prior to its release, and I think there has been for nearly any other game. But my question is, say we get a reveal for Kingdom Hearts 4, this year. Say that's the thing that happens. Will it have as much hype surrounding that than Kingdom Hearts 3? Now, that's not saying that it won't be as good, because me personally, I love all Kingdom Hearts games nearly equally. They all are pretty close together except for maybe a given couple. But normally for me, I enjoy them all a lot. Every single Kingdom Hearts game has its own little charm to it that I really enjoy. So for me, they're all gonna be pretty much the same hype level, hype factor. I'm always gonna be hyped for a Kingdom Hearts release. However, Kingdom Hearts 3 seems to have been the most, just for some reason, the Kingdom Hearts community really just had so much hype with Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, that's not to say it wasn't warranted, for sure. A 7-year wait, I think, or 6 years, something like that, but a long wait since the reveal of that game. But for some reason, there was just an aura around Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it just being the end of the Darkseeker saga, the Xehanort saga, just a culmination of all the years of the games that we've played. Finally going to get most of the answers. I'm not gonna say we got them all, because we definitely didn't get them all. We got more questions. I think we got enough answers to the questions that we've had, but they definitely piled on a whole bunch more questions in general for the future of Kingdom Hearts. But I do believe that Kingdom Hearts 3 will go down in history as having the most hype behind it than any other game, because there's been plenty of games that has had hype surrounding it, even Cyberpunk, for instance. People's been waiting for that game longer than we were waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. And we see what an abundance of hype for a game can do. But I'm not really going to blame the fans. Everyone seemed to have had a different experience with that said game. For some people it didn't live up to it. For some people it had tons of bugs. For some people it was a pleasant experience. And some people got the perfect experience. They were able to play the game perfectly without anything happening, which is great. But for Kingdom Hearts 4, if it were to get revealed this year, I'm not entirely sure. For me, it's going to have tons of hype behind it, and there'll definitely be an abundance of hype surrounding Kingdom Hearts 4 for sure, just because anything Kingdom Hearts related to Kingdom Hearts community knows how to get behind it extremely well. Just look at the past, I think 2 weeks ago, Sora was trending for a whole week straight. There was reasons behind it, but all in all, it shouldn't have trended when there was no, other than the actual announcement of the Nintendo Switch ports, which we're not going to talk about that, but then also the announcement on April 10th. But other than that, it was still trending prior to that, and even after that had nothing to do with either of those announcements. So the Kingdom Hearts community knows how to get the ball rolling and get people talking. But there's something that was just different about Kingdom Hearts 3. I recall me being with a whole bunch of friends, and it'd be, I think 9 in the morning when I think the original final trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 released, where we got to see the final battle trailer or something like that. And it released in the morning, and there was people that were waiting. They went to sleep and woke up and was ready, or they just didn't go to sleep and they were ready. There's been plenty of times where you'd have these watch parties at 3 in the morning, just because Nomura loves to just throw random trailers at you out of nowhere. And there were just many times that happened during the span of waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. Also, random side note, I do still have a residual cough, so if you hear random cuts here and there, that's the reason why. It's still, it's harder to talk, I would say, just because I just feel the urge to cough every single moment that I speak, which is very annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Recording wise, extremely frustrating. I hate it. But yes, Kingdom Hearts 3 just had so many moments. Even back after the reveal trailer, there was a year where we didn't get anything Kingdom Hearts 3 news related, but the Kingdom Hearts community still managed to, put out these theory videos, HMK and the key keepers and all that. Like they kept that ball rolling to keep the KH community talking. They kept them eager to want more, which is awesome, because you need those people in your community. You need those, because without those kind of people, there won't be people talking about said game, and then the community will slowly not die out, because no community will ever fully die out. However, that does not mean that, the talking and people being like, I feel like without the key keepers and a select few creators early, there might not have been as much, I won't say like hype surrounding it, but I don't think it'd be trending as often as it was, even when there was nothing that actually came out for Kingdom Hearts 3. But Kingdom Hearts 3 was different, man. Kingdom Hearts 3 was it was an experience that I almost don't believe we'll ever experience again. It was just, there's something about it. Just going on Twitter and seeing it trend, and you can see talking points of people having theories about like goddamn near anything. They could be talking about Sora just literally, the size shoes that he's wearing, and why this is going to be the reasoning behind Master of Masters revealing himself in Kingdom Hearts 4. There'd be those type of things. I mean, it wouldn't be that exaggerated. However, the Kingdom Hearts community loves to talk, and that's great, because there will always be chats and topics and theories surrounding Kingdom Hearts. And that's why with Kingdom Hearts 4, or whatever said game gets revealed, because there will be a game revealed this year, mark my words, there's going to be a game revealed this year. I even said this, I think 2 years ago, or was it a year ago? I think 2 years ago, when they initially announced that they were going to go on hiatus. I said, mark my words, end of 2021, we'll get an announcement talking about an announcement into 2022 where we're going to get a reveal of the game. I already got half of that right, because at the end of 2021, we did get a kind of an announcement. It was like into 2022, but I was close. But still, we got an announcement of an announcement. So I mark my words, we're going to get a game this year, or at least a reveal of a game this year. But it all harks back to my original question. Will it hold hype like it did for Kingdom Hearts 3? I think it will be close. I do think it will be close, just because even when there was nothing, even after Kingdom Hearts 3, like after Melody of Memory, you had that little hiatus where there was absolutely nothing to talk about. And then slowly, every single time Smash or Nintendo had a direct and it would be about Smash, you'd have Sora trending, Sora for Smash. And there would be like over 100,000 tweets regarding him. Then he finally gets into Smash. The KH community erupts. And now you get to this point where there's going to be talking points at every given moment, whether or not there's news surrounding it. I just don't think it will hold the same hype level factor of Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know why, because I mean, all in all, it's probably going to be the same type of like level of hype, because you're going to get these random trailers that are going to drop at 10 in the morning, 3 in the morning, random time. It'll trend for a few days. HMK will make tons of theory videos. There will be tons of creators that will chat about Kingdom Hearts, and it'll be that same moment. You'll have the watch parties, you'll have all these just getting together with friends, being hyped, talking about Kingdom Hearts. But for some reason, I just feel like it's going to be a slight different energy than it was for Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know why, because we're still going to enjoy every single piece of news that we get, and it won't change in that matter, but just the energy I think that will be surrounding Kingdom Hearts 4 will not be the same energy that's surrounding Kingdom Hearts 3. And I think it probably just regards of how much was, leading up, how much was made leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3. You had literally, 7 games or so that was all culminating to the final part of Kingdom Hearts 3. And I mean, since this is the beginning, it's almost Kingdom Hearts 1 again, in my opinion. Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be equivalent to Kingdom Hearts 1, meaning you're starting anew. However, instead of the kind of you're playing Kingdom Hearts, because for a lot of people, they played Kingdom Hearts because it looked similar to a Final Fantasy game, and they were wondering, why the hell is Donald and Goofy in this game? You'd have all these Disney characters. Now we're going into a whole brand new phase of Kingdom Hearts where we know that they're in Quadratum. We know Kyrie's training with Aqua. We know Mickey's going to Scala at Kylum. However, we don't know anything of the future. Like, there's theories about what could happen, but this is the first time in a while that we know absolutely nothing. It's just a whole new slate, a brand new blank sheet of paper that's going to be written, where we have the beginning of the said story, but we don't know what's to come, you know, if that makes sense. For Kingdom Hearts 3, I think the hype surrounding it was, you know, like, why is Aqua this? Like, is anyone going to save her? You know, how is the battle? Who's going to be the 7 Guardians of Light? Which we kind of guessed them all before the game came out. You had, you know, did Donald die because he did his, what spell did he do? Regardless, still, like, they almost pulled another Goofy getting hit by a rock again with Donald, and I was like, this probably is a good thing. The man never healed me anyways. I'm just kidding. But there's a lot of it's a different energy surrounding this game, where I feel like we're going all the way back to 2002, but with a different mindset regarding it. So there's going to be a hype factor regarding like a new Kingdom Hearts, but it's going to be a different kind of hype factor. It's not going to be the culmination of so many games. It's going to, like, kind of think of it as the MCU. You had Infinity War and Endgame, the culmination of literally what, 10 years of films or something like that. Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 was a culmination of all that into Kingdom Hearts 3 and the Remind DLC and all that. Now we have a brand new slate, which the brand new slate for, you know, Avengers was kind of, well, I mean, every like movie that came out after Endgame, people were like, I'm not as hype anymore. It'll need to build up again. And that's the thing. It's going to build up all the way, like for the MCU wise, it's going to build up all the way till we get either to Galactus, Doctor Doom. Like, we're going to get to those points, but it's going to take some building up. So we're not as hyped now as we were for Endgame. It died down, or for Infinity War. Now, don't get me wrong. Spider-Man No Way Home, that was different. For like, Spider-Man holds a different weight than any other hero in the MCU. And you could say that maybe Kingdom Hearts has that same kind of weight, where we're just going to be hype regardless because it's Kingdom Hearts. Just like we're going to be hype regardless because it's Spider-Man. But this one's just going to hold a little bit different. We're at a blank slate where we really don't know the future, and that's what's going to get us hype. It's a different kind of hype. And I realize this video is probably a complete ramble. I say this nearly every single video, and it probably gets annoying that I continuously say this. But as I always say, you guys already know how I am. You've been following my lead for approximately, what, 4 years? For some people, 5. For some people, I had old channels. You probably followed me for around 8 years. And I mean, I think the community that I have here don't remember the old me, because not a lot of people do. I think everyone that came here only remembers me for this channel. But yeah, I had an older channel back then where I made kind of the same kind of videos. And for me, I don't like really, I'll make a little script of notes. I'll make little bullet points and I'll hit those points in the video. But I want to get there in a nice flow. I don't want to script it out entirely to where it doesn't sound, it kind of sounds like it's scripted. I don't want it to ever sound scripted. So that's why I always have the rambling feel, where it's almost as if you're coming over to me and then I just was like, hey, you heard about this? And then I chat to you. That's kind of what I feel like my videos are like. I just come over to you and we sit at a table, maybe we're eating lunch and we're just chatting. And given I'm doing a lot of the talking, but yeah, you're listening. But let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts. Do you think Kingdom Hearts 4 will hold the same amount of hype as Kingdom Hearts 3? Do you think Kingdom Hearts 3 is a one-of-a-kind game where it just had this different energy to it that made us hype? Hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and you guys know the drill. I will see you guys later.